Ladies and gentlemen, councillors, members of the public and members of the press. As you may know, Councillor Mrs. Amanda Martin has expressed an interest in being the chairman of council for the ensuing year, which means that she cannot be in the chamber for this item. So therefore, I'll call on the vice chairman to take nominations for the role of chairman of the council of the Isles of Scilly.
Okay, thank you. Are there any nominations for the role of chair of council of the Isles of Scilly? Councillor Billsborough.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I would like to propose Councillor Adrian Davis as Chairman of the Council. In proposing Councillor Davis, I fully appreciate that the Chairman and the Council's management team have had to face during the past year or so. I do also appreciate that the Chairman has had an additional burden besides her civic duties of being involved in the Council's restructuring. However, I and people who have spoken to me are now concerned about the apparent lack of transparency on some major issues. I therefore believe that we could benefit by a change of direction of the management team, because at the end of the day, it is the elected members who bear the responsibility for the decisions they have agreed.
Sorry, Councillor Billsborough, can I just ask for some clarification from the Administrations Officer? At this stage, we're not simply asking for nominations, and if I'm right in thinking if there are more than one nomination, then all of those nominated parties are asked to leave the chamber while we discuss the various merits of each member, rather than at this time.
Chairman,
would that be correct? Definitely.
Chairman, I've given the reasons.
Yes, I don't think this is the appropriate time to give the reasons, Councillor Billsborough.
Right.
I'm simply asking for names.
Well, can I give the reasons, Chairman?
Not at this stage, because if there is more than one member nominated, all of those nominated members are asked to leave the chamber while the remaining members discuss the various pros and cons merits of each of those individuals. So and at the moment, your nominated member is still sat in the chamber, as I was aware.
So I can come back, Chairman?
Oh, it's gone now? I still don't think my point is still valid, isn't it? So we have a nomination on the table, Councillor Billsborough. Is that correct?
Can I carry on?
Well, I would rather see if there were further nominations, Councillor Billsborough.
That nomination should be seconded first.
I'll second the nomination.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations for the role of Chair of the Council of the Isles of Scilly? Councillor Thomas.
Yes, I have no hesitation in nominating Councillor Amanda Martin for Chairman. She's led us through 3 very difficult years with some serious decisions to make, but these have always been made in the best interest.
Okay, there's a nomination there. Seconded by Councillor Saville. So we now have 2 nominations for the role of Chair of Council of the Isles of Scilly. Are there any further nominations? No? In that case, I feel that this is the time where it's appropriate for us to open up the debate for people to comment. Councillor Billsborough.
Thank you. As I was saying, I therefore believe that we could benefit by a change of direction of the management team, because at the end of the day, it is the elected members who bear responsibility for the decisions they have agreed. Hence, they must be kept up to date on any problems, especially those involving unforeseen expenditure and personnel. Councillor Davis has been my Vice Chairman on the Standards Committee for the past 2 years, and I have always valued his advice and sound judgment. In addition to having lived here since 1970, he is well known and respected by the local community. I therefore believe that he should be the person to lead the Council for the coming year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments? Councillor Thomas, would you like to present any further comments for your nomination in support?
No, I just said she's led us very well through some very difficult decisions over the last couple of years. Sorry. Some of them were very courageous decisions, and I know they weren't the most popular, but she's done it in the best interest of the islands every time, but never for personal interest.
Okay, thank you very much.
I've got no hesitation in nominating her.
Thank you. Councillor Mrs Bennett.
Thank you, Chairman. I do support the challenge represented by Councillor Davis, because I think I am alarmed at the amount of disengagement of the community. I am trying to encourage others on Briar to stand for council, and I've heard so many views of the present situation, of restructuring, of finance, of lack of information and so on, that I've come to the conclusion that a change is required.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments? Okay, so we have two nominations, both seconded before us, one for Councillor Davis and one for Councillor Mrs. Martin. So in order of being proposed and seconded, all those in favour of Councillor Davis being the Chairman of the Council of the Isles of Scilly, please show clearly. Okay, okay, thank you. All those against? Okay, I didn't know. I apologise. I don't think it's going to make much difference as a point of order at this stage, Councillor Billswood, but I'm happy to say all those in favour of Councillor Mrs. Moran as remaining as the Chairman of the Council of the Isles of Scilly. Uh, 11 to 5, yeah. The Chief Executive's asking me if I would like to offer anybody the opportunity to abstain. Okay, so Councillor Mrs. Amanda Martin has been re-elected as the Chairman of the Council of the Isles of Scilly. Thank you.
I, Amanda Jane Martin, having been elected to the office of Chairman of the Council of the Isles of Scilly, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
This declaration was made and signed before me, Theo Leijzer, the proper officer of the Council of the Isles of Scilly. Please proceed, and the chairman, I'll hand over the meeting to the chairman of the Council of the Isles of Scilly.
Thank you. I think we shall remain standing for the canon formula to take the prayers. I would just thank those who've shown their confidence in me for their support, and would ask that all of us as a council might work together for the good of these islands. Thank you very much. Canon formula.
As we stand, let us pray. Eternal God, hear our prayer for those who govern. Guide to Elizabeth, our Queen, grace as the symbol of loyalty and unity. Give to our government wisdom, skill, imagination and energy. And give to the members of this council vision, understanding and integrity, that they may have a right judgment in all things, and that all on these islands may live in peace and happiness, truth and prosperity. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please be seated. I assumed he came back in before. Apparently we're one councillor short, and that's just going to be rectified. I'd like to proceed with the election of the Vice Chairman for the ensuing council years. Please may I know your nominations. Councillor Billsborough.
Madam Chairman, I would like to propose Councillor Adrian Davis as Vice Chairman of the Council for the coming year. Members have heard my reasons in my previous speech.
Thank you very much. Councillor O'Neill.
I'd like to propose Councillor Steve Sims to be the next Vice Chairman of this Council.
Councillor Mrs Mumford.
I'd like to second that.
Which one?
Councillor Sims.
Thank you very much. Councillor Mrs Bennett.
I'll second the nomination of Councillor Davis.
Right, thank you. Are there any further nominations? First, may I just inquire if both the candidates are happy to accept their nominations? Councillor Sims?
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor Davis? Councillor Davis? Sorry? Are you happy to accept the nomination?
Yes, Madam Chairman. As I would very much regret letting down the people that have supported me so far, I accept the nomination.
Thank you. Can I just take advice? Which order do we take them in? Because we had one proposed and seconded before the others. First proposal. Right. Okay then. Do we need to do it calling of names or just show of hands? Show of hands then. No, we don't do that. It's only Chairman Council. Right. Okay, thank you very much. Could those who would support Councillor Adrian Davis as Vice Chairman of this Council please show clearly? Right. Thank you very much. Could those who would support Councillor Steve Sims for Vice Chairman of this Council please show clearly? Yeah, please show clearly so it can be counted. you. In which case, Councillor Steve Sims has become Vice Chair of this Council, and I would invite him to take his place up here. You've got a speech that you'll be given to read in a minute.
I, Stephen Mark Sims, having been elected to the office of Vice Chairman of the Council of the Isles of Scilly, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
This declaration was made and signed before me, Theo Leijzer, the proper officer of the Council of the Isles of Scilly.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much for my support. Thank you.
All right. Before we proceed, I'd like to extend a very heartfelt thanks to Councillor O'Neill, who has been a very supportive Vice Chairman of this Council, who's put in many hours of very hard and dedicated work in his role, and he will be much missed as Vice Chair. Thank you very, very much. We'll proceed with the minutes. Item 6, to confirm as a correct record the minutes of the Council of the Isles of Scilly on the 9th of December 2014. And also we have the minutes from the 3rd of February 2015 and the minutes from the 10th of March 2015. Councillor Mrs. Stovall.
Yes, Chairman. Are you going to take them separately? Because I've some corrections.
Okay, in that case we'll take them separately. To confirm as a correct record the minutes of the Council of the Isles of Scilly on the 9th of December 2014. Minutes number C78 to C93. Councillor Bilsborough.
I propose to accept them on the 9th of December meeting.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is that seconded? Councillor Mrs. Mumford.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you. Anybody against? No. That's carried. Thank you. To confirm as a correct record the minutes of the Council of the Isles of Scilly on the 3rd of February 2015, C1 to C8. Councillor Mrs. Mumford.
Sorry.
Okay. Councillor Mrs. Saville.
I propose them as a correct record, Chairman.
Thank you. Is that seconded by Councillor McCarthy? Thank you very much. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Nobody against? Thank you very much. To confirm as a correct record the minutes of the Council of the Isles of Scilly on the 10th of March 2015, C9 to C19. Councillor Mrs. Saville.
Thank you. Under declarations of interest, Chairman, I declared an interest and it refers to my sister and it should be my husband. and also, Chairman, if I can refer to page 5, I think it's page 5, the setting of council tax. The resolution actually lists that members supported the 1.99% increase, but there is no other mention of the other raft of recommendations that actually go with that recommendation, and I think they should. I don't think they need to be listed because they're really very, technical, but I do think it should be listed that we actually accepted those as well.
Yep, point taken. Thank you. Are there any further comments on those minutes? No? In which case, may I know your wishes?
I'll propose them, Chairman.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor McCarthy. Thank you. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Nobody against? No. Thank you. That's carried. We move on to item 7, declarations of interest. May I know any declarations of interest? Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to declare an interest in agenda item 17, the pay policy statement, and also agenda item 18, approval of the environmental health enforcement policy.
Okay.
Agenda item 17 is for a personal declaration, and 18 is financial as I am, and it's an establishment that will be affected by that policy.
Okay, thank you. Everybody clear on that from your end? You've got all that? Good. Thank you. Are there any further members who wish to declare an interest? Councillor Dorian Smith.
Chairman, I think probably item 18, the environmental health enforcement policy, based on the fact that I have interests in restaurants.
Thank you very much. Councillor Mawson.
Item 18, as we've got a retail establishment that sells food on the campsite.
Thank you. Councillor O'Neill, did you wish to come back?
Yeah, I did, Chairman. Sorry, I would just like to take the opportunity, I'm not sure if it's entirely appropriate, but I would just like to stress to all members the importance of this process of declaration of interest. Anybody who's involved even remotely in any kind of catering, food, retail, tourism related, this would be the
thank
time.
you. One would hope that had been understood, but thank you for that. Councillor Mrs Mumford.
I'd like to declare an interest in item 18 as we sell food in the shop.
Thank you very much. Councillor Mrs Bennett.
I'd like to declare an interest in all matters relating to transport, which are referred to in these set of minutes, as the coordinator of this.
Thank you very much. Any further? Oh, Councillor Francis, sorry.
Yeah, item 18, obviously selling food and etc. as well.
Thank you. No, in that case, Mr Borson, did you wish to? Right, okay. No further. Right, in that case, everybody, you haven't got anything? No. Moving on to item Chairman's announcements. I had the privilege of attending the May Day on St Mary's just over a week ago. Sadly, the weather didn't permit the event to take place in the park. However, it was held indoors at the Sports Hall at Carnguavel. The perfume from the flowers, given that it was the 1st of May, the perfume was very intense, and the May Queen, Miss Isabella Taylor, was beautiful, and everybody performed their roles with great aplomb. I thought they did extremely well. Last weekend, I had the great honour, with some other members of this council, of attending the VE Day commemoration ceremony at the parish church on St Mary's. It was a moving occasion organised by Canon Paul Miller in the presence of the Reverend Christopher Budd, the former Bishop of Plymouth, and many of our members of the British Legion, a well-attended church service. And it was part of the national events, followed by, as I'm sure you've all heard, a long and loud peal of bells. That's all from me for the moment. Move on to item number 9, to consider reports from committees, including the receipt of minutes and or draft minutes. Children and Young People's Committee Chairman, Councillor Mrs Saville.
Thank you, Chairman. There are no reports in Part 1, and the Children and Young People's Committee would like to present these draft minutes for the information of Council.
Thank you very much. Children's Trust Board, Councillor Mrs Saville. You didn't get away that easily.
This was a one-off one. But again, no reports in Part 1, but the Children's Trust Board again would like to present the minutes listed under Part 2 for the information of Council.
Thank you. Community Services Committee Chairman, Councillor Richard McCarthy.
It's on. Right. It's on.
Councillor McCarthy, could you pull it down slightly so that it captures the sound as well, please?
Time too short. Right. Yes, I'm presenting for the information of Council the draft minutes of the Community Services Committee held on Thursday the 12th of February, CS 115 to CS 1315. There are no reports.
Thank you very much. General Purposes Committee, Chairman Councillor Stevenson.
I'd like to report to the Council the General Purposes Committee of the 17th of February, GP1/15 to GP12/15, and no reports.
Thank you. Health and Wellbeing Board, Chairman Councillor Mrs Saville.
Chairman, again, no reports. The Health and Wellbeing Board would like to present the minutes to the Council for information.
Thank you. Health Overview and Scrutiny Committee, Chairman Councillor Dr Davis.
Oh, no minutes.
No.
We haven't met.
Yeah, but I was expecting him to say that. So. Inshore Fisheries Conservation Authority, Chairman Councillor Guy.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to present the minutes for the Inshore Fisheries Conservation Authority. There are no reports in Part 1, and the meeting 27th of January, and the meeting the 7th of April.
Okay. Licensing Committee, Councillor Mrs Peacock.
There are no reports, and I would like to present the minutes of the Licensing Committee on the 19th of February.
Thank you. Planning and Development Committee, Chairman Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Chairman. No reports under Part 1. I would like to submit the minutes as listed under Part 2 for information of Council.
Thank you very much. Policy and Resources Committee, Chairman Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Chairman. There are no reports again under Part 1, and I would like to submit the minutes as listed under Part 2 from the Policy and Resources Committee for information of Council.
Thank you. Standards Committee, Chairman Councillor Billsborough, please.
There are no reports in Part 1, Chairman, and I present the minutes of Part 2 on the 19th of February. Since this is the committee has now been demised and subsumed, I would like to thank all the members who have served me for the past 2 years on this committee. Thank you.
Thank you. And our thanks go to you as Chairman of that committee for all your work involved with that committee.
Thank you, Chairman.
Standing Advisory Council for Religious Education, Councillor Mrs Saville.
Thank you, Chairman. No reports in Part 1, and Sacre submits the minutes as listed under Part 2 for the information of Council.
Thank you. Transport Committee, Councillor Thomas.
Thank you, Chairman. There are no reports under Part 1. Under Part 2, I'd like to present the minutes from the 15th of January and the 20th of February.
Thank you. That concludes that part of the meeting. We move on to item 10, written questions to the Chairman of Committees not submitting reports. I'm not aware of any that have been received. No. 11, to consider motions in accordance with Standing Order 5. Not aware of any. Urgent items, I have none. No. Thank you. Members' updates. None have been received in writing as requested, but are there any verbal updates? Councillor Mrs Grotty.
Thank you, Chairman. I have advised the Administration Department that the reason I didn't put a written report in was that I have attended one meeting of the Cornwall Partnership Trust on January the 29th, but it was a business meeting which remains confidential at this moment in time, so I can give members no information, I'm afraid.
Thank you very much. Councillor Mrs Saville.
Thank you, Chairman. I've attended an Island Partnership meeting today, so hence no written report, which was held on Briar. I would just like to say, with their success in getting the funding for the Coastal Community Fund, they now have appointed 2 people to take that project forward. Walk Scilly apparently was a very successful week in spite of the weather conditions, and they hope to repeat another Walk Scilly in the autumn. The TIC, I think they're hitting some of the issues that some of us are well aware of, around staffing, etc., but currently it is going reasonably well.
Thank you. Councillor McCarthy.
Yes.
Before I go any further, I'm very remiss. I hope you'll all join me in wishing Councillor McCarthy a very happy 70th birthday.
I don't know whether to sort of growl or say...
No, you're going to be very gracious and get on with it.
A gracious thank you. There we are then. In which case, I don't know whether you might be equally gracious in allowing me just a minute or two to actually run through some information about the LEP. Again, the issue with the Local Enterprise Partnership is that an awful lot of the business is confidential. The last meeting was March. The next one will be this week on Scilly. I have done an overview. I could circulate it outside the meeting. I could go through it. It'll take 2 or 3 minutes. I will bow to your.
Can we have the succinct version, and then I'm sure members would be delighted to read what you've got, because it does take some concentrating on some of these acronyms and titles.
Yeah, I'll try not to be. It's very much a sort of a kind of personal overview of the last year, because it has been very much a year of uncertainty. Because the LEPs were the creation of the coalition government, and they replaced the creation of the previous Labour government, the regional development authorities, which went all the way up, as far as we were concerned, to Swindon in one direction and Stratford-on-Avon going north. As people, I'm going to be not succinct.
Councillor McCarthy, everybody's saying, is this the succinct version?
It is the succinct version.
In the beginning.
I'll do. Okay. In the beginning, there was the word. I will circulate a note. I think it is probably the sensible thing to do.
Thank you.
Bearing in mind we've got lots of things to get through today.
Yes. Are there any other member updates? Councillor Simpson.
Basically, well, it's not traffic management, it's parking. The parking scheme we now have I think it's about 8 months now, and I did ask a GP earlier on if members could think about it, maybe receive input from the public, if anybody like any changes. So I actually think it's not, strictly speaking, relevant to GP. So if any members have any ideas or anything's been told, if you could pass it on to me or the senior manager for infrastructure, etc., etc., etc. That's it, really. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any further member updates?
I will give an even more succinct one. On the, as lead member for adult social care, there has been one meeting since the last meeting of the lead members up at Taunton, and again the main concern has been the implementation of the Care Act, and this is something that we are looking as though we will have less difficulty with than some of the other local authorities, but it is going to be a burden on our finances. Some of it has come into effect this financial year. The bulk of it won't come into effect in the next financial year, but it will be interesting to see exactly where the government gets to when it actually starts looking at its comprehensive spending review in a few weeks' time, because that will dictate the sort of resources that we will have to deal with this very substantial issue as far as the community is concerned.
Thank you. Councillor Mrs Mumford.
Yes, as lead member for Children's Services, I've attended 3 or 4 meetings in Truro with Aisling, and I have been on various training sessions, and everything else is confidential. So.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Chairman. Both myself and Mr Dryden there were unable to attend the Local Nature Partnership Christmas dinner, and as far as I'm aware, that is the update for the Local Nature Partnership. Thank you.
Oh dear. Right, if there are no further member updates, right. We move into part 1, reports requiring a decision. Appointments to committees. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. We have put this report in a slightly different format this time, in as much that we've put the terms of reference in length where they have changed, and where they have not, we have left them in the blue book, so that members can see without too much page turning what you're going to be discussing. So hopefully it's all in one place. But it doesn't mean that it's a foregone conclusion, and I do want to make that particularly clear. This year, members have been asked to provide information on the committees they're most interested in sitting on. One that does not appear in your notes is Councillor Thomas's, who is interested in sitting on the IFCA and the TEDI, the Transport, Economic Development and Infrastructure. So I don't know if you would like to make a note of that. We will start, I think, Chairman, if that's okay with you, with the lead members. And the lead member for Children's Services is the first one to come up at 4.2 on page 120. Previously, Councillor Mrs Mumford, and the members who have expressed an interest in this post are Councillor Mrs Mumford and Councillor Mrs Grottek. Are there any other nominations that would be interested?
Chairman, I'm proposing Councillor Mrs.
Excuse me, can I?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were asking.
Yeah.
Chairman, I would take these as nominations, and I think that's quite sensible. What I'm looking for is seconders and...
There's only one nomination.
Yeah, thank you. Councillor O'Neill, your light was on first.
Yeah, thank you. If we're accepting what's in the document as an initial proposal, then I will second Councillor Mrs. Mumford.
Right, thank you. Councillor Billsborough.
Yes, I am proposing Councillor Mrs. Grotic, Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Can you just say why? I think people ought to know why.
We don't normally allow speeches about why we're nominating people in favour.
Yes, but before we take the vote, Chairman, sure.
Plus, on a point of order, Chairman, she's already been nominated. We've established that.
Yes, the nominations are in there.
But pardon, Chairman, I didn't quite... I would have thought that if we are nominating somebody for a position like that...
She's already nominated, Councillor Billsborough.
May I finish? I think... If
Not necessarily.
Excuse me, I will chair the meeting. I don't want interruptions from the floor. Thank you very much. Councillor Billsborough, it is not normal for us to make a speech when the nominations have been received. We have two nominations, Councillor Mrs. Mumford and Councillor Mrs. Grotic. That is the standard practice.
Well, I'll accept your ruling, Chairman. I just thought it would have been useful for people to have known Mrs. Grotic's background, but as you say it's out of order, well, I have no choice but to...
Well, I'm afraid we have already received the nominations. So what we need to do now, we've got the seconders and we need to proceed to a vote. So the first nomination was for Councillor Mrs. Mumford, so I'd ask those in favour of Councillor Mrs. Mumford to show, and then I will proceed with the nominations for Councillor Mrs. Grotic. Councillor Dr. Davis.
Madam Chairman, I don't understand that Councillor Grotic has got a seconder yet. I would wish to...
I thought that Councillor Billsborough had seconded.
He's made the proposal and I wish to make the second.
I'm very sorry, perhaps I'm misunderstanding. I thought we were taking the fact that we had the names as the nomination and then we'd receive the seconders. I had understood that Councillor O'Neill had seconded Councillor Mrs. Mumford and that Councillor Billsborough had seconded Councillor Mrs. Grotic.
Apologies, Chairman, that's not entirely accurate. I did second Councillor Mrs. Mumford. Councillor Billsborough proposed again.
All right. In that case,
Grotic.
I apologise. I thought we were running this according to the way it had been planned. Could I have a seconder for Councillor Mrs. Grotic then, if it is not Councillor Billsborough?
I have already offered to second Councillor Grotic.
Thank you. I apologise. I thought we were doing this according to the schedule. Right. Let's proceed with the vote. Councillor Billsborough, were you about to say something? Those in favour of Councillor Mrs. Mumford as lead member for John, please show very clearly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Chairman.
Thank you. 9. Thank you. Those in favour of Councillor Mrs. Grotic, please show clearly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Chairman.
Thank you.
6.
Yeah. Thank you very much, in which case Councillor Mrs. Mumford will remain as lead member for children. Moving on, I'll hand back to the officer.
Thank you, Chairman. The lead member for Procurement and ICT was previously the chairman of the Policy and Resources Committee, which is now reformed into the Finance, Audit and Scrutiny Committee. Is it your will, Chairman, that that remains the appointment? It's not a named member, it is a positional.
Are members happy with that?
Propose that, Chairman.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
Second.
Thank you very much. Those in favour, please show. Thank you.
The lead member for Health and Safety, Chairman, previously Councillor Sims. No members have actually expressed an interest in this post, so we need nominations and seconded.
I could just advise members on this. The only input I've had in this post was accepting the nomination last year, so it's not that onerous. On that basis, I'm happy to do it again if nobody else is champing at the bit.
A point of order. I thought last year that 4.4 and 4.7 were reversed, and last year I was the lead member for Health and Safety, unless I've got it wrong. And Steve Sims was chair for the Equality and Diversity, and I think you'll find I'm correct.
I'm sorry if we've made an error. But that obviously seems to be the case. So
I would be happy to stay for lead member of health and safety if nobody else wishes to take that post.
Right,
I
thank you.
propose Councillor
Second.
Those in favour? Thank you, that's carried. May I suggest to both candidates, or any candidates, that you take a slightly more proactive approach to the roles? Right, moving on to 4.5. Oh, sorry.
The lead member for the community safety previously was the council's representative on Devon and Cornwall Police and Crime Panel, which is an appointment you will come to later, Chairman. And if you're happy with that, we'll leave that as no appointment required.
May I know your wishes?
Propose we accept that, Chairman.
Yeah, second.
Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you.
Similarly, Chairman, 4.6, lead member for services to older people, has previously been the chairman of Community Services Committee.
Thank you. Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much.
So then we come to the Equality and Diversity Champion, who was Councillor Sims.
May I know your wishes?
Well, at risk of repeating what I said earlier, I just saw my name there and didn't look at the group. So, again, the only input I had on this was my accepting the nomination last year, and on that basis I'm happy to do it again. I have time.
Councillor Bill.
Chairman, what does the Equality and Diversity Issue Champion do? What are the duties of it? Does anybody know?
The last person that I can remember explaining it in any detail was a previous colleague, Councillor Ticehurst. Since then,
Yes, Chairman. We have all, as part of our acceptance of posts within the authority, had to do equality and diversity training. And I think members have done some as well. Yeah. And I think this year may possibly see a larger role in working through this and how our policies are formulated to encompass this.
Yeah. Chairman, it is quite an important role, actually.
It should be.
It should be. Legally, we have a responsibility. And there was training in November for all members as well, which I think the majority of members did attend. And we've all got a little certificate now.
Mr. Burson, would you
Chairman, I'd just pick up on Councillor Savile's point. It is a statutory requirement that the authority complies with equality and diversity legislation.
I was only asking what the champion did. I have the diplomas too, but what does the champion do?
I think, Chairman, the champion would be working with the policy writers to ensure that it is incorporated in all the council's policies.
Right, thank you. Right, may I know your wishes, please?
Propose Councillor Sims.
Seconded.
Well, I just want to be clear that given that this post will be more onerous than may have been thought previously.
On that basis, I'd like to propose Councillor Francis.
Right, Councillor Francis.
I would probably, for the sake of time, like to decline the proposal, please.
All right. Are there any other nominations? This is important. We have to have a champion for equality and diversity. We do need to take this seriously. Councillor Billsborough, are you offering?
Yeah, no, Chairman, but if nobody chooses to do it, who is going to compel us? Are they going to put us in jail? What can they do to us? If nobody wants it, we can't fill it. It's simple.
Councillor, I did say I'd do it if nobody else wanted to, so
Yeah.
I have been nominated and seconded.
Those in favour of Councillor Sims next, isn't it?
All right. If there are no other, I was hoping that it might encourage other people to come forward to share the load a little, because I do think that it is advisable that we share as many of the tasks as we can. Councillor O'Neill.
I'll do it, Chairman.
I'd like to propose Councillor...
I mean, all I'm doing is I would be willing to take it on should anybody see fit to propose and second.
I would propose Councillor O'Neill, then.
Councillor Mrs Mumford.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Councillor Mrs Grotty.
I was just about to second Councillor O'Neill and thank him for his interest when Mrs Mumford got there first.
Right, thank you. On that basis, those in favour of Councillor O'Neill as Equality and Diversity Champion, please show clearly. Thank you. Nobody against? No? You against? Okay. Thank you very much. Moving on, the Isles of Scilly... Sorry,
no, Chairman. The Isles of Scilly Armed Forces Community Covenant Governance Board, again, is the province of the Chairman of Council currently, unless members wish to change that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, your wishes. Councillor Mrs. Grotting.
I propose that the post remains in the portfolio of the Chairman of Council.
Okay.
Second that.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other... if there are no other ideas, then those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Anybody against? No? Nobody's position? No. Thank you. Well, moving on.
So, moving on to elections of committee chairman. Just a brief outline. Some committees have to have members from the off-island communities, and those are listed separately, and we will take nominations for those first. Where there are more or insufficient members from off-island councillors, you should remember that the Briar community has a vacant seat, and you will need then to look for others. As far as the remaining seats are concerned, it really is a matter of the people who have expressed an interest and obviously nominating further people to do that. You have, the number of votes you have are dependent on the seats of the committee. So if there's 10 seats on a committee, each individual councillor has 10 votes, 4 of which are devoted to off-islands, and the remainder to the ordinary members, which can be from the off-islands as well as St Mary's. Am I making this more confusing? Should we try the first one? The Children's Committee...
Chairman, there is a misprint there because Councillor Peacock is down as St Mary's councillor.
No, sorry. Yeah. Councillor Mrs Peacock is St Agnes, of course. So... Councillor Mrs Goddard, Chairman.
Oh, sorry, Councillor Mrs Goddard.
Can I just mention, Chairman, that with regard to the Children's Committee, of course, Mrs Mumford, having just been re-elected to the post of lead member of children, is, of course, a pivotal member of this committee. And so we would ratify her appointment rather than elect her to it, because obviously she would be on that committee by right. In terms of reference, obviously.
Yeah. Chairman, I just to make it clear, I think, again, it is the case that if people have put their names forward, that is the proposal, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, okay, that just makes it a little bit easier, thank you.
I think if we could take the off-island people first, you've got St Agnes, Briar, Tresco and St Martin's, and you've had Councillor Peacock and Councillor Saville for St Agnes and St Martin's. There remains the Briar and Tresco seats, which have to be filled, for which nobody has expressed an interest.
Okay. Could I just interrupt a second because Councillor Daly wishes to say something?
Sorry.
I'm just slightly confused, but I'd like to propose Councillor Saville, please.
Right, thank you. Yeah, I think you'll need to second her then because the fact that her name is already on the list means that she's nominated. Sorry, Mrs.
Well, second then.
Yeah. Okay. Councillor Mrs Mumford, did you wish to say something?
I'd like to propose Councillor Nellums for the Tresco.
Okay.
Seat.
That's seconded.
And I'll second Councillor Peacock for St Agnes.
Okay.
And is it your wish to leave the Briar seat? Or...
I propose Councillor Mrs Bennett.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor. Thank you, Councillor Mrs Bennett. Councillor O'Neill.
I'm not sure entirely what's going on at the moment, Chairman, but am I allowed to propose you at this stage?
Chairman and Chairman are ex officio.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I'm just working through the list.
I'm sorry, I have to put people in the list because nobody knew that the Councillor Mr Martin would be chairman. So
no, I understand that.
So you could take out the number 4. And similarly, when we get to other committees, you can take out Councillor Sims, because he will be there as Vice Chairman. So, are you happy then, Chairman, with the St Agnes proposal for Councillor Peacock, Briar, Councillor Bennett, Truscoe, Councillor Nellams, and St Martin's, Councillor Mrs Saville?
Well, they've all been proposed and seconded. Are we short of any more? Otherwise, I'll take them.
3 more to
Right, okay. Councillor Francis.
Well, I was just about to say, surely at this point, and now we've sorted the off-island seats for this out, if we vote now for everyone en masse, get them, and then we need to find a couple more, don't we, for the committee? Surely
yes.
That's all that has to happen.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to take the vote for the off-islands and get that out of the way first.
We could do the off-islands.
Yeah, we've had proposals and seconders for the off-island seats. I propose to take them in block, so those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you. Is anybody against? No, in which case the off-island seats have been sorted out. Thank you. And then we'll proceed with the St Mary's.
So, with St Mary's, then you've got Councillor Mrs Mumford, Councillor Mrs Saville, Councillor Davis, Councillor Molson, and Councillor Grottick.
Councillor Mrs Mumford is on there as by right.
So is the Chairman.
Yes, but she is one of the 10, if you see what I mean. She's not an additional one. She's one of the 10. Because you've got...
Will not one of those be the Vice Chairman of Council as ex officio?
He will sit as 11 and 12, the Chairman and Vice Chairman of Council.
Yeah. So we need 2 more nominations.
1 more nomination.
2?
2.
Councillor Mumford, Councillor Saville.
I'm St Martin's, I'm there.
Oh, sorry, yes, so you are. So, yes, 2.
I've lived there
sorry.
a long time.
2 more.
2 more.
Chairman, could I suggest that I would propose those 4 en bloc, but before we finalise it, at some stage we ought to leave a committee space for somebody who may join the council from St Mary's. So I'm suggesting that we leave 1 here. I mean, at the moment it's undersubscribed. We have 4 for the remaining 6 seats. So I'm proposing the 4 en bloc, and then somebody, if needs, we choose 1 more, but leave 1 seat empty for any new councillor.
Leave 1 in abeyance in case we get a candidate. Yep. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable to me, if members agree. Right.
So you need 1 more nomination?
So we're short of 1 still. Right. May I know your wishes?
1 person needs to decide tonight.
Members, it's a delightful committee.
Exactly.
Right.
Come on, Rock.
Please, may I know your wishes?
Yes. I propose Councillor Francis.
Okay. Thank you very much. Right, so we are ratifying Councillor Mrs Mumford as lead member of children. We've got Councillor Dr Davis, Councillor Molson, Councillor Grottick and Councillor Francis proposed and seconded. Yes? Those in favour, please show clearly.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Councillor O'Neill, did you wish to come back in? No? Right, thank you.
Now we come to the terms of reference for the Children's Committee, which starts at 7.3 on page 123. These are much longer than previously, and you may wish to ask the senior manager responsible for this service any questions about the terms of reference that you may have.
Right, thank you. Councillor Mrs Saville.
Chairman, I was just going to point out a conflict under CHC 12B. It says elected members of the council as appointed, and it's got 7 there, and when it should be 10.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you.
That was just an innocent mistake, obviously. Otherwise, I would propose them.
Thank you very much. Seconded by Councillor Guy. Yeah? Is that? Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you. Nobody against? No. Thank you very much.
And then on to community services on page 127, Chairman, where 12 members have expressed an interest, and we could take out number 4, which is Councillor Sims, and yourself, Chairman, at number 8. And we need to decide possibly between for St Agnes, Councillor McCarthy or Councillor Peacock.
I propose Councillor McCarthy. I propose Councillor McCarthy.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Is that seconded, Councillor O'Neill? Thank you. Yep. Okay. Those in favour that Councillor McCarthy be the St Agnes Community Services member, please show. Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor Mrs. Peacock, for doing that. Thank you.
Can I just say, for the sake of accuracy, I wasn't on community services last year, but I'm listed in the... I was previously.
Oh, yeah, there, yeah. Okay.
So, Chairman, would you like to take a vote for the St Agnes, Councillor McCarthy, Briar, Councillor Bennett, Truscoe, Councillor Nellens, and St Martin's, Councillor Daly?
Okay. Have they all had a seconder? Thank you. Thank you. Are they all now duly seconded? Are we one short? No? All right. Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much.
Which leaves Councillor Billsborough, Councillor Mrs Mumford, Councillor Davis, Councillor Hicks, Councillor Mrs Peacock and Councillor Mrs Grottick, filling the remaining places.
Right. And do they need to be seconded?
Seconded, yes, Chairman.
Yeah, would somebody...
All in favour?
Yeah.
Second.
En bloc.
En masse.
En bloc, thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Anybody against? No. Thank you very much.
Which brings us to, again, new terms of reference, Chairman, at 7.3. And again, you may wish to ask any questions of the Senior Manager. Aisling?
I'd be happy to move the terms of reference if there's no questions.
All right. Councillor O'Neill? No. Second, yeah. Okay. If there are no further questions, it's been proposed and seconded. Those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you very much.
Which brings us to Finance, Audit and Scrutiny Committee, for which no appointments are required, because it will be all chairman of committee plus the chairman and vice chairman of council and the lead member for children's services. We need therefore to take the terms of reference which are being proposed for this, and this has been through the senior management team, so any one of them I think would be prepared to answer questions, but probably in particular we should look to Mr Barriston.
Right, thank you. Councillor McCarthy.
Sorry.
Right. Councillor Billsborough.
I propose Councillor Guy, Chairman.
Councillor Billsborough, perhaps...
sorry, he's there, yes, already. Sorry.
Yeah, fine, thank you. Are there any questions on the terms of reference for the Finance, Audit and Scrutiny Committee? Councillor Mrs Grottick.
Thank you, Chairman. Please could I just have a bit more information on FAS 20, where auditors actually flagged one or two issues with regarding our risk environment, and whether or not this is now got a formal protocol so that it's something that we address on a regular time frame.
That's correct, Councillor Grottick.
Thank you. Any further questions? Councillor Mrs Summer.
Propose the terms of reference, Chair.
Thank you very much. Is that second by Councillor McCarthy? Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Clearly. Thank you. Anybody against? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Which brings us to Health Overview and Scrutiny Committee on page 136. 8 8 councillors have expressed an interest, and you require 8. Are members happy that those 8 go forward? Can we have seconders and an agreement?
All right. Is somebody prepared to second? Councillor O'Neill.
Yeah, I'll second those en bloc.
Thank you very much. Are there any further comments about that? No. In that case, it's been seconded en bloc. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Don't think there's anybody against. Thank you.
Thank you. Which brings us to the terms of reference, Chairman, for this committee.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Molson. Thank you very much. Those in favour, please show.
Health and Wellbeing Board Chairman, no appointments are required. The membership is laid out at 10.1, and the terms of reference for this committee are, I think, on page 10 in your blue book. Which brings us to the inshore fisheries and...
Chairman, sorry, can I just say, I expressed interest in that, but I'm not qualified under the criteria for membership.
No.
Well, you might be.
The thing is, it has to be a chairman of one of those services. I put the reference at 10.2 because I needed members to know who was interested in being there when it comes to the election of chairman of community services and children's services. So you need to agree the terms of reference, Chairman, as in the blue book.
Yeah, thank you. Councillor Mrs. Grottick.
Thank you, Chairman. If I could just say the Vice Chair of Community Services sits on the Health and Wellbeing Board as well, and I've done that recently and it's been very enjoyable, so I know that is so.
Thank you. Councillor Mrs. Stafford.
And Chairman, can I just raise a possibility that the lead member of chairman could become the chairman of the new joint committee. Therefore, I would propose, when it says chairman of children's services, I would propose it says chairman or vice chairman of children's services, so it still enables 2 people from the children's side of things to sit on the Health and Wellbeing Board. I'm thinking ahead, Chairman.
Yeah, sure. Members happy with that? That's been proposed. Is that seconded?
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Seconded by Councillor McCarthy, yeah. All those in favour of that amendment, thank you. Thank you very much. Yep, thank you for that. In terms of reference now, please.
Proposed, Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Summer. Seconded by Councillor Sims, thank you. Those in favour, please show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Which brings us to Inshore Fisheries and Conservation Authority, Chairman, on page 139. And you have 3 places for nominations, and Councillor Guy, Councillor Martin and Councillor Thomas have put their names forward for this.
Right, thank you. Councillor Sims.
I'm not sure, Councillor Thomas. Councillor Thomas is on my list, but if necessary, I would like to propose him.
Right, thank you. And we need a seconder. Councillor O'Neill.
Well, I'll second that, but I'll also second the other 2 that are in the document before us.
Right. Are there any other nominations? No. Then those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Nobody in? No. Thank you. So that is Councillor Thomas, Councillor Guy and myself.
Thank you, Chairman. Terms of reference, page 14 in the blue book.
Councillor O'Neill.
Oh, sorry, Chairman.
Councillor Molson. Sorry, thank you. I was looking at the light, sorry. So Councillor Molson has proposed. Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Billsborough. Thank you very much. Those in favour, please show. Thank you. That's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Licensing Committee Chairman. Again, 4 places for off-islanders. Councillor Mrs Peacock and Councillor Nellams have expressed an interest here, but you need somebody for Briar and St Martin's, unless you wish to leave the Briar seat open at this point.
Thank you. May I know your wishes?
Sorry, you can leave the Briar position open at the moment.
All right. Thank you very much. Councillor Billsborough.
Could I suggest, Chairman, at this stage, it might be wise to leave one of the St Mary's seats open, because it's not oversubscribed, just in case.
Yep.
Unless anybody's burning to go on it, but...
Councillor Mrs Peacock.
Can I propose Councillor Mrs Saville, please?
Yeah?
Seconded.
Thank you. So, if we take the off-islands first, we've had, unless there are any further nominations, we've had nominations and seconds for Councillor Peacock. The Briar seat will await possible further interest from Briar. Councillor Nullams and Councillor Mrs Saville. Those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you. Anybody against? No. Thank you very much. Moving on to St Mary's.
Right, you've got three people, Councillor Mumford, Councillor Hicks and Councillor Grottick, and you've got 5 places for ordinary, not sitting as a representative of an off-island. So could we have some nominations, Chairman, please?
Mm-hmm. Right, may I know your wishes? Councillor Mrs Peacock.
Sorry.
No, okay.
Chairman, can I just say again, this is quite an important committee that has a set number of members that must actually sit on it. So we can't opt out of having only 6 or 7. We statutorily have to have 10 members on it.
Councillor Mrs Mumford.
I'd like to propose Councillor Molson.
Councillor Molson.
I would accept that, only I would point out the fact that I am a licence holder.
Yeah, which disbars from...
It does prove difficult for licence holders.
Yep. This has been a problem many times in the past too.
Councillor Bilsborough willing to stand?
Councillor Bilsborough?
Yes.
For clarity's sake, may we just have an idea of the St Mary's councillors who hold licences, because we wouldn't like to put them in the position of voting for them, and so that's 3. All right. The other councillors from St Mary's could be drawn upon, or more off-islanders could fill the positions too. It doesn't just have to be...
Can I propose Councillor Davis?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I second that, Chairman.
Thank you. Councillor Davis is willing to accept the nomination, yeah?
Yes, Madam Chair, certainly.
Thank you. Right, good, thank you. Councillor Hicks.
Could I propose Councillor Guy?
Councillor Guy.
I would like to decline that, Madam Chairman. I was on this committee last year and I would, for personal reasons, resign from that committee. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're looking, if we hold one in abeyance because we've got a vacancy on the Council for St Mary's, we still have one further one to fill. We can take from anybody on the council. They don't have to be from St Mary's.
I wonder if Councillor Daly would be prepared to go back on.
I'd rather it was somebody else.
Right. Are there any other... We need another member at least. Councillor Mrs Mumford.
Councillor Chris Thomas.
Councillor Thomas.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Those in favour? Oh no, hang on. Let me just. So we've now got
a vacant seat. Councillor Mrs Mumford, Councillor Hicks, Councillor Mrs Grottick, Councillor Davis, and Councillor Thomas.
Yeah. So we're holding 1 seat for Briar and 1 seat vacant for St Mary's in the hope that we get further members of council.
Exactly.
So if everybody's clear on that. Councillor Mrs Saville? No? In that case, have they all been duly seconded? Yes, they have, haven't they?
Yeah.
In that case, those in favour, please show.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Nobody against? Thank you very much.
Terms of reference.
I propose terms of reference.
Thank you very much. Seconded. Thank you. Those in favour, please show clearly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody against? No.
Planning Committee Chairman, all members are on planning. We just need to take the terms of reference.
Right. So, Councillor O'Neill.
I propose terms of reference, Chairman.
Thank you. Second by Councillor Thomas. Thank you very much. If there are no questions, those in favour of the terms of reference, please show clearly. Thank you. Anybody else? No. Thank you very much.
Standing Advisory Committee on Religious Education, Chairman. 2 members have expressed an interest, Councillor Saville and Councillor Mrs Peacock. And you've got 2 spaces.
Right. So they've been nominated.
Yes, I'll propose those 2, Chairman. Councillor Saville and Councillor Peacock.
Second those 2.
Second, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I was just about... Well, once we've taken the vote, I'm going to make a comment. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can I personally thank the 2 ladies who sit on the Sacre for heroic service to this council and to this community. Having sat in on some of those meetings, they do deserve medals. Thank you very much, both of you.
Terms of reference, Chairman, are provided in legislation for Sacre, so we just have to agree them, that's all. Which takes us then to the Transport, Economic Development and Infrastructure Committee, which, if we take out Councillor Sims, yourself, to start with, and Councillor Thomas has expressed an interest in this one, which brings that he's at number 14. We take the 4 off-islands first, Chairman. Councillor McCarthy, Councillor Bennett on Briar, Councillor Dorian Smith on Tresco and Councillor Daly on St Martin's.
Those on block, Chair.
Thank you. All right. Councillor Mrs Grottick, did you wish to comment?
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, can I just comment that I don't see Councillor O'Neill on the list of members who expressed an interest in sitting on this committee. And as he's previously, obviously, at the moment, Chairman of Planning, I just wonder whether or not that is an omission, whether he would be prepared to allow me to nominate him.
My light was on to nominate Councillor O'Neill.
Councillor O'Neill,
second him, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, both of you. I would very much like to sit on this committee, yes, and it's through no fault of the administration department. It's just an error on my behalf.
Thank you very much for Councillor Grottick and Councillor Guy for picking that one up. Thank you. Councillor Bills.
Point of clarification, Chairman. If you refer to page 125, it was resolved by the Council that the Transport, Economic Development and Infrastructure Committee, that's this one, includes the Chairman of Planning and the Chairman of Community Services. We made that decision that this committee must include the Chairman of Planning and the Chairman of Community Services. It's just, so does that sort of foul things up? I don't know. Or complicate it?
I think it's like the lead member of children, isn't it? They
because
have to
we don't know who they're going to be, you see. Yeah, do we?
Yeah, which is why I think Councillor Grottick is nominating me not as the Chair of Planning, but as an individual.
On a point of order, I think that Councillor O'Neill is the Chair of Planning until the next planning meeting, and then it would presumably be the next Chair of Planning if he's nominated on that basis. If he's nominated on an individual basis, that's different. Yeah.
With respect, Chairman, I nominated Councillor O'Neill in view of his past experience and wasn't sure, obviously, at this moment in time, whether or not he would continue in the role, although it's my personal hope that he does. Therefore, I put him forward, if you like, as an individual with experience rather than as the current Chairman of Planning.
Fine, just as long as we're all clear on that basis, that's all. Yep, fine. So we shall... We've got...
You've got actually 9 now. You've got Councillor O'Neill, Councillor Guy, Councillor Molson, Councillor Billsborough, Councillor Mrs Mumford, Councillor Davis, Councillor Francis, Councillor Hicks and Councillor Thomas.
And Councillor O'Neill. And Councillor O'Neill.
I said that.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Okay. Right.
Could I withdraw my name, and I think that will make it right.
If Mrs Mumford...
If you are happy to do so.
Yes, I think I've got quite enough on my plate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That would indeed make it simpler, and it's very kind of you to do that. Right.
So that leaves you then, Chairman, Councillor Guy, Councillor Molson, Councillor Billsborough, Councillor Davis, Councillor Francis, Councillor Hicks, Councillor Thomas and Councillor O'Neill.
Right. We're all clear on that, yes? They've all been nominated and seconded. Yes? Well, yeah, thank you. En bloc, yeah, thank you. Councillor Mrs Mumford, did you wish to make a further comment, or just because your lights are on? No? Okay, thank you. Those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nobody against? No, thank you.
And just the terms of reference, Chairman.
I propose terms of reference.
Thank you. Councillor Mawson.
I'll second those, Chairman.
Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. We need to proceed now with the outside bodies. Agenda item 11.
All right, Chairman. Appointments to outside bodies, annual and other appointments. The first group are council-appointed bodies, which means the bodies within the council, and those are, first of all, the Democratic Processes Panel. Previous membership is listed under 4.1 on page 152. I don't know if any other members want to nominate, resign, otherwise.
Councillor Mrs Bennett.
Chairman, may I propose Councillor Billsborough to be number 6?
Thank you. Is that seconded? Councillor Mrs Grottick.
Yeah, I'd like to second Councillor Billsborough, and also may I in addition propose Councillor Davis, please.
Okay. Thank you. Is that seconded? Councillor Mrs Peacock.
Can I propose Councillor Saville, please? She's down there. Can I propose her? Second her, sorry.
Yeah, surely.
So,
I just need to make a note of
sorry,
this.
Chairman, I didn't quite catch that. I've got a proposer and a second for Councillor Billsborough and a proposer for Councillor Davis and a proposer for Councillor Mrs Saville. Yeah?
Second.
But I haven't got seconders for Councillor Davis or Councillor Saville. Is that right?
Right. Okay, I'm just making a note of it to make sure I get this right.
Yeah.
Could I propose the Chairman of Council?
The Chairman of Council is... Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Can I second Councillor Saville?
Yep. Councillor Saville.
Thank you.
Proposing.
Could
Councillor Hicks.
I second Councillor Davis?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not really in a position to nudge anybody, so I'd like to propose myself.
Councillor Neil.
I'd like to propose Councillor Mrs Mumford, and I'd also like to propose Councillor Mr McCarthy.
I would like to propose Councillor Sims.
It's quite a nudge, wasn't it? Councillor Davis.
Am I correct in thinking that Councillor Grottick has not got a seconder, in which case I would second her?
Are you proposing?
I think she needs a proposer, actually, so if you propose, then somebody else can second. If we need a proposer. Right, thank you. And then you.
Sorry, I thought you'd let out her name already.
No. Thank you.
Councillor Daly, did you wish to come in? All right, are there any further?
Chairman, for Councillor Mrs Mumford I've got a proposer, and for Councillor Mrs Grottick I have a proposer.
No,
and for
Councillor Mrs
McCarthy.
Grottick has been proposed and seconded because she was
Right.
proposed by Councillor Mrs Bennett and seconded by Councillor Dr Davis.
Thank you.
Councillor Guy.
I'll second Mrs Mumford.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor McCarthy requires a seconder. Thank you.
Yeah. Councillor Hicks. Thank you. Right, as far as I'm aware now, please correct me if I'm wrong, everybody's been proposed and seconded.
Yes, Chairman, and you have 8 people for a 6 person panel. So you will have to vote on them individually.
Yeah. Right, so we will take... we've got...
Sorry, Chair, could I just request a readout of the list of those 8 names?
Just working on this. So we've got Councillor Sims, Councillor Billsborough, Councillor Grottick, Councillor Dr Davis, Councillor Mrs Saville, Chairman of Council, and I can't read my own handwriting, I'm sorry. Councillor... No, I read Councillor Grottick out. No, I've done Dr Davis. Mumford, sorry, yeah, that's what I couldn't read.
I got one for twice. Sorry? Yes. Chairman, I've got Councillor Mumford, Councillor Grottick, Councillor Billsborough, Councillor Davis, Councillor Sims, Councillor Saville, Councillor McCarthy, and the Chairman of Council.
Okay. Councillor Mrs Grottick.
Thank you, Chairman. Could I make a proposal that we increase this democratic processes panel to the 8 people who volunteered? Because actually it's a heavy workload and it gives a broader spread of opinion from within the council. And if everyone's keen on joining, I mean, I regretfully missed one important DPP because I was on holiday. So if we have 8 members of the panel, then surely that would give us, more input from everyone. Can I make a proposal for that? Would anyone be prepared to second it?
I would second that, Chairman, for all the reasons given by Councillor Grottick. It is, in the end, a far onerous task than I thought it was. And you'll get a more diverse opinion from the members than if we had 6. So 8 will do no harm. I can see no... It extends the democratic base. So I second it.
Right. Thank you very much. So that's been proposed and seconded. Those in favour of extending this panel to 8, please show clearly. Thank you. I think that was unanimous. Councillor Billsborough, your light's still on. Did you
sorry, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. So we now have the 8 members on that.
And if the terms of reference are acceptable, Chairman?
We have a proposal for the terms of reference. Thank you. Seconded. Councillor Davis, you seconding? Yeah. Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you.
Homeless Review Panel Chairman. Previous membership is listed here. Councillor Grottick, Peacock, O'Neill, Francis, Thomas and Pearson. Councillor Pearson obviously is not here anymore, so you would need at least 1 nomination.
All right. May I know your wishes?
Propose Councillor Francis.
Chairman, I propose those people who've put their names forward and Councillor Guy.
Chairman, no one has put their names forward. These is the previous membership.
I will accept.
Thank you. Councillor Mrs Grottick.
Can I also propose Councillor Davis, please?
Thank you. Is that seconded?
I'll withdraw then.
All right. We still need a second for Councillor Davis. Thank you, Councillor Daly. Right. If there are no other nominations, then I shall take those 6 as nominated and seconded. Those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you very much.
And the terms of reference?
And the terms of reference. Proposed by Councillor O'Neill, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Sims. Those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you.
And a communications team, Chairman. Previous members were Councillor McCarthy, Councillor Sims, Councillor Dorian Smith and the Chairman of Council.
Councillor Neil.
I propose those 4 en bloc, Chairman.
Thank you. Seconded. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? No. In that case, those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you. Nobody against. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Which brings us to annual appointments, Chairman. I tried to give a web address and a brief description of what this post does. Previously, the Cornwall Rural Community Council Board of Trustees, our representative was Councillor Mrs Peacock.
Yep. Councillor Mrs Saville.
I propose Councillor Mrs Peacock, Chairman.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor. Thank you very much. There are no other nominations. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank Councillor Mrs Peacock, because it's not easy to go from an off-island and to make all the journey to attend the meetings, and I know she does so to the best of her ability, and thank you on our behalf.
National Association of Areas of Outstanding Natural Beauty. Previously, this was the Chairman of Planning and Development, now the Planning Committee. Is it your wish that that continue?
I know your wishes. Thank you. Is that seconded by Councillor Thomas? Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Isles of Scilly, Area of Outstanding Natural Beauty Joint Advisory Committee. Previously the Chairman and Vice Chairman of the Planning and Development, now the Planning Committee. Is it your wish that remain?
Can I ask, Chairman, are they the 2 members of the council who are on that committee? The Chairman and Vice Chairman of...
I think that needs looking at, because of the way it is at the present. That is the case, yes.
And does that make up a whole committee? Because it's just 2 members.
There are other members. Sorry, I'll leave it to Miss. Yeah.
It's a wider partnership than just council. So the council representation are 2 members of council, and then there are other partners such as Tresco, the Wildlife Trust, Duchy of Cornwall, etc.
Right, thank you.
Yeah. There is a brief description underneath which gives the full list of partners. May I know your wishes, please?
Are you happy for it to remain as the Chairman and Vice Chairman of the Planning Committee?
Yeah.
I propose to.
Thank you. Is that seconded? Seconded, Councillor Guy. If there are no other comments, those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Anybody against? Any abstentions? No? Oh, 1 abstention. Thank you very much.
No, it's difficult. The Strategic Group of the Isles of Scilly Community Safety Partnership. This is currently vacant, and it is not a matter of course, but it has previously been held by the person who goes to the Devon and Cornwall Police and Crime Panel, which of course is a 4-year appointment, a set appointment, which we take later in this meeting. So you might wish to align those 2. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Would somebody like to make a proposal to that effect?
I propose, Chairman.
Thank you.
Exactly that.
Seconded.
I'll second that, but wonder in the interim if it couldn't be twinned with the chair of the licensing committee, because obviously a lot of the ground is covered. It covers the same area. I don't know what anyone thinks.
I don't think it covers this.
I think the Community Safety Partnership and the Senior Manager for Community Services to our community might be able to give further information, but I think they have highlighted 3 or 4 areas that they're going to home in on. I think I can remember 2 of them, but not all of them. Underage drinking, domestic abuse, and there are a couple of other... Road safety, yes, there are. So their topics have already been highlighted by that partnership already.
Thank you.
So we align this to the Devon and Cornwall Police Panel appointment.
So it's been proposed and seconded. Sorry, thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you. Anybody against? Any abstentions? No, thank you very much.
South West Regional Flood and Coastline Committee. Previously the Chairman of the General Purposes, which is now Transport, Economic Development, Infrastructure. Are you happy for it to remain there?
Can I just make a comment on this one? They have rather a lot of meetings. They're almost like bi-weekly, and it's not really particularly efficacious for us to attend all of them. But because there's such a number of meetings, I would suggest that it would be Teddy, wouldn't it, that the Chair and Vice Chair of Teddy are nominated members for this, because there's quite a lot, as I said, there's a lot of meetings, and it's difficult to cover them.
Do members agree with that suggestion?
Chairman, I think it's only one appointment, so it would have to be either or, depending on who was free, perhaps.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. It's just a sort of substitute. I did mean that, yeah. I certainly don't want two of us going.
No. Are members agreeable to that amendment, that it should be either the Chairman or the Vice Chairman of the Transport, Economic Development and Infrastructure Committee? Thank you. Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Nobody against? No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Island Partnership, observer status only. Previously, Councillor Mrs Saville.
Right. Councillor Davis?
Could I ask a question here on the brief description, if I'm in order? It says that it's funded entirely by membership subscription and together with some corporate partnership. Am I right in thinking that, or correct me, that that since it's taken over the tourism information, it also gets money from our council?
Yes. Can I just clarify that? Yeah. That's for a service, so it's not a grant. We're paying for the service.
But they receive money.
They receive money, but it was a properly tendered service, so we are paying them to do something. It's not a grant as such.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, but they are receiving money from this authority.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Yeah. And of course we are service level agreement with them, and we do contribute financially through that as well. 15,000 a year. And we have done since the inception of Island Partnership. Chairman, that wasn't what I was going to say, actually. But obviously, this is an important partnership, although it is observer status only. I'm not always able to make every meeting, because they meet every 6 weeks. And I wondered if there should be 2 people within that role.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we must be guided by you, because you're the person who's had experience of that.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think
every 6 weeks, clashes with my other council responsibilities, etc., at times. So I think it would be pertinent if there was 2 people.
If we could nominate a deputy, then to...
Mr. Chairman, I would like to nominate Councillor Saville, who hasn't actually been nominated yet.
Thank you, Councillor Hicks. Very
gallant.
Thank you. Seconded. Those in favour of Councillor Mrs Saville, please show clearly. Right. Thank you. Now we come to the suggestion for a deputy, given that it can be quite difficult for people to attend. Councillor Dr Davis.
I have proposed Councillor Grottick.
Thank you. Councillor O'Neill.
I propose Councillor Molson.
Councillor Molson. Thank you. Is that seconded?
I'd second that.
Right. And Councillor Billsborough seconded Councillor Grottick, I think. Right.
I'm quite happy to stand. It was just really wanting to support Councillor Saville. If Councillor Molson, who is happy to support Councillor Saville, I'm quite happy to withdraw. It was just really to help.
This is the decision of members.
Absolutely, but I wouldn't stand in Councillor Molson's way. He's currently involved in tourism. I'm only retired, so therefore I stand back for him.
Well, that's very good of you, if you're sure. Okay. In that case, if members are happy, then we at the moment have one nomination, which is, you accept the nomination, yeah? Councillor Mrs Grottick has withdrawn her nomination, yeah? Okay, in that case, it's been proposed and seconded, I think, for Councillor Molson. Yep. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Right,
Chairman, if I might, just in the brief description there, it says it's funded entirely by membership subscription. I did get that off their website, so maybe the observers might like to mention that the next time if you feel it's inaccurate.
Yep.
And then that brings us to Cornwall and the Isles
Yeah,
of Scilly.
sorry, forgive me for interrupting. So I just want us to be quite clear. Councillor Mrs Saville is the Member of Council representative, and Councillor Molson is the nominated deputy. But I think you will perhaps need to liaise between the two. Right. Thank you very much. Sorry, if you'd like to go on.
Chairman, could I just, apropos of this particular appointment and also the local enterprise partnership, I think the examples that we've had already would make sense. In other words, if the name, or the post here and the vice chair should actually be also represented, so that you've actually got a choice of people for these these meetings that take place.
Yeah, when it's applicable, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was... Yeah.
Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly Local Nature Partnership. Previously the Chairman of Planning, now the Planning Committee. Is it your wish that that remain with the Planning Committee, Chairman?
Yeah, I was just going to say Chairman and Vice Chair.
Yeah, Chairman and Vice Chair.
Right.
So, have we got a proposer? Councillor McCarthy, were you proposing that?
Yes,
yep.
yes.
So, second by Councillor Molson. Thank you. If there are no other comments, those in favour of the Chairman or Vice Chairman of the Planning Committee, please show clearly. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody against? No. That's carried. Thank you.
Okay. Local Management Committee Convergence Programme. Again, previously the Chairman of Planning and Development, now Planning Committee. Is it your wish that the Vice Chairman also be included as an alternative?
The Chief Executive just wishes to comment.
Just for the members' information, the Local Management Committee for the Convergence Programme will cease to exist on the 31st of December of this year. It's likely to be one more meeting of this committee, committee. A new committee is being established for the new programme, the European programme for 2014-2020, which will get a different name, which we don't know yet, and nominations will be sought for those committees as well.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, moving on then, Chairman or Vice Chairman, I think has been suggested. Have we got a proposer? Propose Chairman or Vice Chairman? Yeah, thank you. Is that seconded, please? Mr. Silver, thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Nobody against? No, thank you. Moving on.
Ex officio annual appointments of Council. South West Strategic Leaders Board, previously the Chairman of Council.
Councillor
Proposed Chairman of the Council.
Thank you. Councillor O'Neill?
Yeah, second that, Chairman.
Sorry, thank you. All right, those in favour, please show. Thank you. Nobody against? No.
Local Government Association Chairman, South West Region, previously the Chairman of Council.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much.
Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly Local Enterprise Partnership Board, previously the Chairman of the Policy and Resources Committee, now Finance, Audit and Scrutiny. Is it your wish to stay with there?
Yeah. Councillor O'Neill?
That's not entirely accurate, Chairman. It was Councillor McCarthy.
Well, actually, it is accurate. It is in that portfolio, but last year we had an agreement that it would be the role would be undertaken by Councillor McCarthy, given that the Chairman of the Policy and Resources Committee was a member of the LNP, and there was perceived to be a conflict of interest.
But also prior to that, Chairman, Councillor McCarthy had been acting chair of P&R and therefore took his seat on the LEP. And in the interest of continuity for the LEP, it was felt, at least by myself, and everybody supported it at the time, that he should continue in his role as representing on the LEP, even though he was effectively taken from the chair, acting chair of P&R to vice chair of P&R. He carried on for continuity on the left.
Which was why I suggested earlier that perhaps there should be the chair and vice, or vice chair, so that that would allow both things to happen.
Chairman, Do you wish this to be a named appointment as opposed to a chairmanship or vice chairmanship?
I think we've moved away from that in the interest of having portfolio holders rather than named individuals. It was felt that, as we've looked at the council over the years, it's felt fairer to have these things in people's...
Chairman, you're absolutely right. It's the name of the portfolio holder, and we don't know who it's going to be yet, in any case. Therefore, I propose it is the chairman of the Finance, Audit and Scrutiny Committee.
Right.
Right? As the portfolio holder, and we'll know who it is in the fullness of time. But the name doesn't matter.
In any case, at the moment, until that case, Councillor McCarthy will continue in his present role. If there is perceived to be a conflict of interest with a new chairman of the Finance, Audit and Scrutiny Committee, whoever that might be, then we will have to sort that out at the time, as we have done in the past. At the moment, Councillor McCarthy will continue in the role, because that situation hasn't yet occurred. Councillor O'Neill.
Yes, Chairman, thank you. I would like to propose that we add the position of Vice Chair to that.
Right.
The
Are you
same as we
happy
have
with
done
that?
for the previous.
Right. So, in that case, could I say that it's been proposed and seconded with the Chairman and Vice Chair? Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you. Nobody against? Thank you.
So, moving on to the set appointments, the Devon and Cornwall Police and Crime Panel. This was held for several years, as you may remember, by Councillor Duncan, and is currently vacant.
Thank you. May I know your wishes? Councillor O'Neill.
Yeah, then, Chairman, if he's willing, I would like to propose Councillor Molson for this position. I know it is a hugely important position and with a considerable workload attached to it, but if you are willing, I think...
Yeah, it is very time-consuming. As long as you're absolutely...
I've no doubt that if Councillor Molson agrees to
discourage
take
anybody.
it on,
I just want to be really... The councillors that I have known undertake this role have been hugely occupied by it.
I think it has reduced since it's become the Police and Crime Panel considerably from when it was the Police Authority. You were expected to do an awful lot. Bless you. Lot more work. Now it's the Police and Crime Panel. It's held in Plymouth and it meets about 4 times a year.
I would also stress that in positions like this, I think it's often well advised to test something out and see whether or not it is within your parameters.
Yeah, I don't seek to discourage. I just want somebody who is quite active at work should know that it's quite...
Yeah, also, I'm just making it clear that obviously, everybody's well within their rights if they decide that it's too much or whatever to stand down at any point in the future. There's no...
I will second Councillor Molson, Chairman, if it's agreeable to standing for it.
If you're happy to take it on, then... Could you put your mic on, please?
Just with the proviso that Councillor O'Neill said that if the workload proves too much, that I would have to put it on to somebody else.
Thank you so much, Chairman. I still second you if you're happy about it, yeah.
Councillor Mrs Saville.
And of course, we delayed taking an appointment earlier, which will be tied up to this role as well, which is the strategic group of the Isles of Scilly Community Safety Partnership. So it will be both roles.
Yep. Yeah.
So just that Councillor Wilson is aware of that.
Yeah. Right, so Councillor Simpson.
Again, given that perhaps this role is quite onerous, perhaps we could have another situation with a deputy, because so often people simply can't do it. And I'm not sure how important it is to be a representation on this, but possibly consideration of a deputy.
I think we might have to take the option of allowing Councillor Molson to find out and then review the situation.
That makes perfect sense.
And if we legally allowed it from the panel.
Yeah, because these are nominated. Mr. Barson, did you wish to come in on that?
It may not be allowed under their terms of reference.
Yeah, no,
Chairman.
I know it's not that simple. Are there any further comments or queries about this appointment? Otherwise, it's been proposed and seconded. May I know your wishes? Those in favour, please show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody against, nobody abstaining. Thank you very much. Councillor Mawson.
Five Island School Governing Body Chairman. The school's instrument of governance has been rewritten to for us to nominate a single representative to the governing body following the expiry of the incumbent's term of office. And I would suggest that perhaps we leave this to a September meeting. I think members need more time to think about this.
May I know your wishes? Councillor Mrs Saville.
Chairman, obviously there is only one governor representing the authority currently. Yeah. The Five Islands School Instrument of Governance was accepted by this authority, and from that date there was only one representative, which is Mr Julian currently. So we just have one LEA governor on the governing body currently. His term finishes obviously in October, so I think the meeting that we have end of July, beginning of August, is an appropriate meeting for this to come to.
Okay, are there any further comments? Councillor Mrs Grottin.
It was suggested by yourself, I believe, Chairman, that it might be a good idea in order to maximise the communication between the governing body and the council, especially as we move to review school status and all its implications, that it might be possible to twin the role of LA Governor with a member of the Children's Committee. But obviously, as Councillor Saville said, we can discuss that at a later date.
It is my personal opinion that the system worked better when it was a member of that committee. I've said that on many occasions and would hope that members would consider that favourably and that it should revert to being an elected member.
Hopefully, in August, Chairman, we might have a little bit more information on the status of the school, because if it is changed, we will have no representative.
Yep. Okay. Councillor Daly, you're next.
I think Mr Julian has been doing a great job for us, and we do well to consider him rather than necessarily a member of the council.
Okay. Well, this will all come up for debate later in the year. Councillor O'Neill.
I was only just going to comment, Chairman, that I think I would completely endorse Councillor Saville's comments, and I think there is a much wider debate that needs to take place here, not least for my own curiosity, that there's complete clarity on this nomination, because it is my view that it's not necessarily representing the council or reporting back to the council. It is simply a position that is nominated by this council, and that's a very, very big difference.
Yep.
So before anybody is nominated, we should all be clear exactly what we're doing.
Yep. Which is why it should be debated with a lot more information at the time.
Chairman, may I propose, part of my proposal be that it would be a standalone agenda item on the August meeting.
Yep. Is that seconded? Seconded by Councillor Mrs Grottick. Thank you very much. Those in favour of that, please show. Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the Edward MacDonald Trust. We have 3 people appointed by council. They don't have to be councillors. They can be anybody within the community willing to accept. Councillor Mr C.T. Mumford has tendered his resignation to this committee. He has served it for many years and has now resigned. So you need one appointment.
I think we need to convey our thanks to Mr Clive Mumford for all his hard work on this committee, many years of commitment, and thank him. Councillor Billsborough.
In that case, Chairman, I would like to propose that Mr Dennis Milligan and Councillor Mrs Grottick.
No, Chairman. I'm sorry. Councillor Grottick and Mr Dennis Minigan are in place until 2017. I need someone to. I need someone to replace Mr Mumford.
Councillor Mrs Grottick.
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought that the chairman, who is now Mr Dennis Milligan, would have advised us, so possibly there's been a lack of communication, but Mr Milligan has already made approaches to a member of the community whom I believe is positively looking forward to joining us. So I wouldn't like to speak out of turn, but I don't know how we can get around that.
Well, it is an appointment by council.
Precisely. That was why I had understood that he would have given the name to yourself, Chairman, to put forward. So I'm now in rather an embarrassing position.
I'm afraid this is not something I deal with, so it wouldn't have come to me.
It hasn't come, as far as I'm aware, Chairman, and I deal with these appointments.
Fair enough. That was just for your information. I do understand the protocol. I was merely giving some background information.
I mean, if you are aware of somebody who you would like to nominate, then please do.
Well, well, I would like to. Can I have a moment to speak to Mr. Mumford? Because I understood when he resigned, he had already spoken to someone else.
I think it's quite irregular for us to start consulting.
Well, I know. I understand that. I'm in a difficult position. It was mentioned at a meeting, but I'm not even sure if it was taken forward. I just understood.
Mr. Morrison, how would you?
Madam Chairman, this item could be delayed until such time we sought clarification on the issue.
Well, if we put this on to a future full council agenda, would that be better?
I think that would be excellent. Thank you.
Right, thank you. In that case, we are deferring this item until a further full council. Again, I repeat our thanks to Mr. Mumford for his role in the past.
Okay, Chairman. The Pilot Fund charity, again, it was the Chairman and Vice Chairman of this council and Mr. C.T. Mumford, and Mr. Mumford has resigned from this as well. And it is one person required to fulfil his seat.
Once again, I would like to thank Mr. Clive Mumford for all his work on this, and this is Scilly's oldest charity and is of huge historic significance to the islands. Fortunately, we call upon it rather less nowadays. I hope Mr. Mumford will agree with that, and long may that continue.
I know, yeah. Clarification, please. I was on that committee for 2 years, I believe. Pilot Widows? I've attended at least 4 meetings.
Yes, he was actually voted on first council meeting we had after the elections. Andy was, weren't you?
The first meeting I attended, the chairman forgot.
Are you saying that Councillor Guy should replace Mr. Mumford?
No, he's already on it.
Okay. So, we still need somebody to replace Mr. Mumford?
Well, could I nominate Councillor Higgs?
All right.
He looks like he's champing at the bit.
Is that seconded? Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Thank you. And against? Thank you very much.
The next one is for information. It's the Isles of Scilly Museum Trust. It's Councillor Thomas till 2017.
I think I should declare an interest in that.
We're not voting on it, Chairman. Richard Addison Trust. Mr. E. Smith and Mr. Sibley have both tendered their resignations. So you need 2 nominations for this. Again, it doesn't have to be councillors. 2 people you view as standing in the committee, the community.
I'd just like to say I'm already on it as a co-opted. Those Councillor Thomas.
Yeah. These are the managing trustees appointed by council because the trust originally came to the council through the will of Mr. Addison, and it was originally run by the Social Services Committee.
Should we then sort of ratify the co-opted members as members?
No, they are co-opted by the managing trustee.
Oh, right, sorry, I beg your pardon, right. Mr. Burson.
Madam Chairman, those positions could be filled by members of the community as well as this committee. Okay. I was wondering whether the item should be deferred to allow it to be opened up to the community as well and to receive nominations from the community.
We could advertise this both on the website and on the council's notice boards through the islands.
Yeah, I would propose that, Chairman.
Yeah, could we be quite certain that these things that we are advertising to attract interest, they must be time limited because it is very unwise to run a trust without the proper number of trustees. So it's a matter of expediency to sort this out. Thank you. Is everybody happy with that situation? Yes? Has that been... We've deferred? Okay. Yep. Thank you. Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust?
Yes, Chairman. This is Councillor Mrs Bennett until 2017. The thing is, they are considering withdrawing their foundation application. So really and truly, this is just a notification that A, Mrs Bennett is the current representative, and B, it might not exist much longer as a foundation trust. Cornwall Partnership NHS Foundation Trust Governor, a 4-year term to 2017, is currently Mrs Grottick. And that is the end of the report, Chairman.
Thank you very, very much. Never an easy one to prepare and get ready, so thank you very much for all your hard work to the admin department for doing this. Agenda item 12, scheme of delegation. I'll ask Richard Borison to present this.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Councillors will find before you a scheme of delegation in relation to officer delegations. The document is fairly self-explanatory, and hopefully members have had the opportunity to peruse that document, and I'd be happy to take any questions in regards to it.
Councillor Bilsborough.
Chairman, on page 161, paragraph 1.2, it says on the 13th of May 2015. Since the 13th of May is tomorrow, I didn't know the council were into time travel or owned a TARDIS, so are we going to the future? Anyway, no doubt you can explain it.
This is a typo.
Right.
It should read 13th of May 2014.
Thank you. Right.
Thank you for the eagle-eyed comments. Are there any further comments about this? May I know your wishes?
Well, Chairman, yes. Are we now going to go discuss the scheme of delegation, etc., etc.? Because if we are, I have a comment to make on page 179, which I think the members ought to consider, if I may.
Yeah.
On paragraph 3.1 of page 179, it says, if any of the following criteria apply, the matter should be considered by elected members at full council or committee or a subcommittee. The opinion of the Chief Executive in consultation with the senior manager of the business unit responsible as to whether or not these criteria apply shall be final and conclusive. So what you're saying is, the Chief Executive will decide whether or not these should be referred to the council. So it sounds as though if the Chief Executive, and I'm not attacking anybody in particular, decides that he doesn't want something referred, which ought to be referred to the elected members, he can veto it. I'm just wondering that if this business shall be final and conclusive, no argument be decided that the elected members can't discuss it, and that's the end of it. This seems wrong to me, Chairman.
So what are you proposing then?
I am proposing, Chairman, that this be modified, that the Chief Executive, to strike out as to whether or not these shall be final and conclusive. In other words, the opinion of the Chief Executive the Chief Executive should not have the power of veto. How we word it is up to the legal people. It sounds as though he can decide whether or not it's considered by the elected members.
Okay. Councillor Dr. Davis.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. As I understand it, this is the first time that there's been a scheme of delegation actually in paper.
No.
Is there an existing one then?
Yes.
So this is a modification? I understand.
This
so it's a
is
modification of a previous document?
It's an updated scheme of delegation.
Updated, yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for informing of that. It doesn't actually say so. I think that in many places the English is poor. It's confused and muddled, and I concur with what Councillor Bilsborough says. I've actually found 8 points, some of them minor, of course, such as the transport takes you to school, it doesn't take you back again. But there are serious flaws, and I would point out one which I consider a serious flaw anyway. Page 184, 512, where it says the head of paid service is the principal policy advisor to the council, and he has a statutory duty where if she considers it appropriate to do so. I can't see how you can have a statutory duty and then consider whether or not it's appropriate by an individual. It's either statutory or it's not. That's the more serious consideration I have. But as I said, there's various other flaws. It mentions where criminality is involved, that officers must act, but then how it doesn't define what a criminal is or what a crime is. Doesn't say whether it's somebody's been taken to court or not, or whether it's in the opinion of the officer that a crime has been committed. I think it should go back to DPP and be reviewed. I strongly accept and see the need for the document, but I think that this particular one has too many small inconsistencies which worry me when a thing has to be in black and white and set in stone. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I agree with Councillor Davis. It should go back. I too have spent a long time on this. I will not bore the meeting at this time of the night, but there are many things, like Councillor Davis said. I would suggest that it goes back for further consideration where we have more time to look at it.
Okay. Mr. Bolson, would you like to come in and comment?
Just in response to Councillor Davis's comment with regards to point 5.1.2, that wording is actually the statutory wording with regards to whether or not it's deemed appropriate.
Well, I stand by what I say. It's very poor wording. Page 191, as I say, just to carry on what I was saying, it says the senior managers may authorise appropriate officers to administer formal cautions in respect of any criminal offence. Well, I mean, are the officers acting as policemen? Are you going to tell me that this is a statutory wording once again? It's not clear to me.
Can I step in? We have enforcement powers under environmental health and the IFCA for enforcement of fisheries. So it's covering those areas where the council has specific legislative powers.
I'm not questioning the powers, I'm questioning the wording. Has the criminal offence occurred, or is the person a criminal? This is what I'm asking. It isn't clear to me.
It's in relation to the investigation of offences pursuant to the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, so it's enforcement procedures that are laid down by statute, and it would be to the determination of whether there has been a crime committed.
Thank you. I think that explanation should be involved. That's all I'm saying. I think that it should be explanatory and clear to us as members.
So Mrs. Grottek.
Thank you, Chairman. It was an onerous responsibility because it is a heavy document and a very important document, and I would welcome the time as a member of the DPP to have another meeting. There was a meeting scheduled for April the 23rd, but we were also discussing in terms of reference, and we actually ran out of time, at which point Mr. Burrison said, which wasn't unreasonable, of course, would we please have a look at it over the weekend and come back to him with points. But that's not quite as valuable as actually discussing it round the table with your colleagues. So I, for one, would be quite happy to support a recommendation to bring it back to the newly reformed DPP.
Are there further comments?
I'm not averse to it going back to DPP, but I think perhaps a little bit of clarification. From what I gathered, this document really, much of the things that have been brought up is a situation which you define as extremis, where something's gone very wrong, and then officers' powers come into effect in that instance. In a more general sense, none of this stuff would happen. It's just if something's gone seriously amiss. It's for the protection of members and officers. Though, like I said, I'm not averse to it going back to DPP.
Answer, David.
Chairman, I think this ought to go back because the powers in it, it's all very well to say they'll never be used. That's what the fascists said when they were passing their legislation. So I think we really have to be very careful what we say in this document, and otherwise we could end up with a very bad situation.
Yeah, sorry, Chairman, but as long as we're clear that there are some things we have to say in this document, whether we like it or not.
We cannot amend the statutory text. Just because it's poor English, but we might all agree that the English is poor. However, if it is the statutory text, then we have to live with it. Councillor Mrs. Savills next.
Yes, Chairman. I mean, obviously, if members are not happy with it, it must go back to the DD. DP. But bear in mind, a lot of this is currently happening anyway. We have a scheme of delegation, but it's quite old and hasn't been updated. And this is an attempt to actually update it, to give our officers the power is too strong a word, but the authority to actually carry out their jobs. And there are certain roles that members cannot get involved in. And there are a lot of the enforcement ones and a lot of the statutory ones. So members must accept that. But it is very important that members are content with this, and therefore I'm not going to, I think it could go back to the DPP. But it is an important document. But quite a lot of time has already been spent on this.
Yep. It is important that we as members are able to do our job and that our officers are empowered to do their jobs too. Councillor Dr Davis.
I couldn't agree more, Madam Chairman. It is a very important document, but it should, therefore, it's even more imperative that it should be correct. I disagree with Councillor Saville in using the word power. I think it has enormous power, and there's no reason why the officer shouldn't have power, but it has to be, in my opinion, clearly defined so we know exactly where we stand. I'm not questioning the statutory requirements. I'm just asking that there is better definition. As far as the power goes, to go back to power, on page 221, it says that the senior manager for services to our community has to run a healthy living service to prevent the causes of ill health. I welcome that power that he or she has, but if they can stop all ill health, I have nothing but admiration for them. I facetiously point this out to you as a point where the words don't actually mean what they say, and I think that, as I say again, it's an important document that we must all abide by, and it should be absolutely clear.
Thank you. Councillor Mrs Grottick and then Councillor Mrs Saville.
Thank you. I was just wondering if, just in the spirit of helpfulness, if perhaps we could, the next time, if we are going to discuss it, perhaps, or we could look at reframing the document so that the statutory wording is actually highlighted in a different text, a different colour, so that we were fully aware of the statutory obligations that we had to comply with. Obviously, no wish to do anything else.
Mrs Saville.
Oh, sorry, Chairman. But in many ways, I am actually, going back to Councillor Davis, quite enheartened that the senior manager to our community has the authority to run a healthy living service to help prevent causes of health. That is what we should be doing under our health and wellbeing role as an authority, our statutory role. We have a statutory role to do that.
Finally, Chairman, if I may, yes, right. I agree. We must obey the law. What I'm complaining is where it's not clear, and it appears as though an officer has the discretion to override democracy. This is what worries me, and this is why I must get it right.
Councillor Billsborough, let's be quite clear. There is absolutely no intention in this document for an officer, or I should hope members, to override the causes of democracy.
I know, Chair. I'm not saying that...
Good. I am glad you have acknowledged that. Thank you. Councillor Dr Davis, do you want to come back? Could you put your light... Yes, thank you. Yeah, sorry, your light was flickering. It needs to be on for the microphone.
First time to make clear it was meant to be a facetious joke, that none of us have the power to actually prevent the causes of ill health. I mean, that infers all ill health. I spent my career trying to prevent ill health with singular lack of success. Unfortunately, life is terminal and we're all going to suffer ill health unless we get run over. It was meant as a facetious remark with some point to it that the English isn't quite clear.
Thank you. Are there any further comments? Sorry,
I just wanted to say, a number of these comments that have been raised around the table tonight were raised at DPP, and I felt that we satisfactorily resolved them at that meeting. However, what I would suggest that members who have issues with this highlight them, and then when it gets submitted back to DPP, then we actually know specifically what we're looking at. And I think that would actually expedite the process enormously.
And then I think we will have to call a special meeting of Council to address this, because without a proper, up-to-date and accurate scheme of delegation, we are not allowing our officers to work on our behalf. So this is a matter of some urgency to deal with this. And so I would urge all members of Council, not just the DPP, to look through it and, as has just been suggested, to flag up anything they're not happy with. But as a matter of some urgency, please. However, the English of some of our national bureaucratic documents leaves a lot to be desired, whether it be government or the NHS. I'm sure we've all seen plenty of opaque English. We will not, sadly, be able to amend all of it, nor should we try. But the spirit of it has got to be put across. Thank you. On that basis, are we happy that we are going to defer this, but not for very long? Yes? Everybody happy with that basis? Yeah, everybody happy with that? Yeah, okay, thank you. Right, moving on to the pay policy statement, agenda item 17.
Thank you, Chairman. Will you excuse us? We have a vote to catch, and it's very unfortunate that the draft corporate plan is the last item on the agenda.
Yeah, I'm very sorry, but thank you for attending.
It's the most important, actually, item on this agenda.
Would you like to propose that we defer it?
That's not my decision, Chairman.
You could propose.
No, because we haven't, I don't want to, if other members wish, for all the off-line members will have gone.
Yeah, okay.
Chairman, I am going to propose that we defer it when we come to it.
Yeah,
for
I'll
the reasons I
second
will
that.
state then.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We will come back to you on that one, Councillor Mrs Saville. Thank you for attending this evening. Councillor Daly.
I just agree with Councillor Saville that we need to discuss this, because what we've been presented with is nothing like what we asked for.
Right.
And so we need to be able to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that's probably what Councillor Billsborough is going to say. Thank you. Right.
That's a good point.
Thank members who are leaving us now, and then ask for somebody to close the door if they wouldn't mind. I don't know if Councillor O'Neill intends to return to the chamber. Or... Well, we need to move on, so I'll ask the senior manager to proceed. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Can we move on with this now, please?
Okay. For members, this is the updated pay policy that updates the policies in accordance with the Green Book, the statutory regulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Billsborough.
Yes, I have read this, Chairman, despite its plans, and I am prepared to accept it. It's a document we should have. It makes it quite clear what the rules are in detail. I'm prepared to accept it.
So you're proposing it? Yeah.
A proposal, Chairman,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you. Councillor Guy.
Seconded.
Thank you. Are there any further comments? No? Those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you. Nobody against? No. Thank you very much. So that's carried. Thank you very much. Proceed with item number 18.
14. 18.
Thank you. Oh, Cora.
This is seeking members' approval of the Environmental Health Enforcement Policy, which is a necessary piece of documentation that we require to be able to undertake our role as an environmental health authority, and which states out very clearly how we'll address enforcement through environmental health, and is required of us by the Food Standards Agency.
Thank you. Councillor Guy?
Chairman, I have read this and I would like to propose 4.1.
Thank Thank you very much. Councillor McCarthy.
Yes, I'm happy to second. In fact, I'd like to congratulate Diana, the new Environmental Health Officer, in putting together a policy on a very complicated area in just a dozen pages. I found it easy to read and eminently sensible. So I'd be happy, as I say, to second.
Thank you. Are there any further comments?
Only to agree.
Sorry, Councillor.
Sorry, Chair, just to agree with that statement by my colleague. It's a very well-written document.
Good. Thank you. In that case,
Sorry, Chairman.
Those in favour, please show. Thank you. Nobody against? No, that's carried. Thank you very much. With our thanks to Mr. Curry for the document too, please. And we'll proceed with agenda item 19, Smart Islands Partnership.
Thank you very much.
Could ask anybody to return to the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a change of approach to something we agreed previously, which is about how we take forward smart technology on the Isles of Scilly around smart grids, renewable energy, solar panels, ICT platforms, telehealth, a whole range of activities. We originally issued an ODU notice for a joint venture partner. We had a great deal of interest in this, but the time frame for going through the procurement process for a joint venture partner was very protracted, and that would potentially risk us losing the ability to apply for certain funding streams. We've discussed this with our wider partnership, and it's agreed that we would go for a partnership where instead of the joint venture applying for funds, individual partners will apply for funds on their own behalf. But the outcomes of the projects remain the same, so the intended outcomes continue to be the same, which is a cut in electricity bills, more increased use of renewable energy, energy efficiency methodology measures, electrical vehicle charging points. It's up to the individuals if they want to plug into them or not. The opportunities for our students from the school, increased STEM and cultural and language training. So you'll see in the proposal it explains how a partnership would work and how each of the individual projects sit underneath of this. What I'm asking members to do, and the costs are completely covered by the local enterprise partnership, is to agree a partnership approach and that members identify a member to join the subgroup of the Island Futures Group. This is potentially a very, very exciting opportunity for us, and we have a number of private sector partners who are interested in being our partners, and they are very large companies with lots of resources to bring to bear.
Thank you. I am aware there's a lot of hard work going on in the background to achieve this for the good of our island community. It is very important that we invest in our community and that we attract partners to help us do so, to revitalise our economy. Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to propose recommendation 1 and 2. And unless I need to wait for anybody to second, particularly recommendation 2, and then take a vote on whether or not we are going to identify a member, I would like to preempt that and nominate Councillor McCarthy.
Thank you very much. Seconded by Councillor Thomas. Councillor Bills.
I agree, but before we take the vote, Chairman, could I ask, are we realistically going to get the funding for this in view of the forthcoming lack of funding?
The main funding streams for this area of work, and that's already been identified, is European programmes, so European Regional Development Fund, for skills, the European Social Fund, and for the R&D Horizon 2020, which is another European fund. There's also been identified money in the growth plan, which was presented to government last year and was approved.
But, Chairman, being identified, is there money there for us to get our hands on?
There is €600 million in Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly, with £50 million identified for this type of activity.
Okay. Thank you. So we have a proposer and a seconder for Councillor McCarthy to be the member identified. So we've had proposal sector for recommendations 1 and 2.
I just want to say something very briefly, and this may seem silly, but I do think it's very important that we emphasise this isn't compulsory. If people don't want to save 20% of electricity bills, they're perfectly free not to. And they certainly don't have to have electric cars, or a lot of people over here don't have to make any use of it whatsoever if they don't want to. The council is enabling this. It's not obliging.
Thank you. Can we move forward with the vote now, please? It's been proposed and seconded. Those in favour, please show clearly. Thank you. Nobody against? Nobody abstaining? No? Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 20, Councillor Billsborough. Oh, forgive me, I thought you wanted to say something about this. No. Forgive me, I thought you were going to ask for it to be deferred.
Oh, yes, Chairman, but yes, I am Chairman. The reason I was going to ask for deferral, having been through it, there are several things that I'm not sure we agreed to. A minor one, like to decent housing for a range of income. But it's not just that, Chairman. The slogans at the top, which read like a political manifesto, and there's not time to go into it all now, but because there are discrepancies in this, I do feel that it ought to be taken back to members, a workshop or somewhere, to discuss in more detail before it comes back here. There's obviously not time tonight, but I'm not confident I can support this.
Right, thank you. Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to second deferral for completely different reasons. On the grounds that Councillor Saville was giving just as I was leaving for a previous item, obviously purely for the reason that there are a considerable number of members unavailable to debate this here this evening. I think we should wait and discuss it at a later date. Thank you very much.
But again, this is one that needs to come to the front burner very soon. So we will have...
Very much
because
so.
I agree with your reasons, because apart from the birthday boy, we have not got many of Wesleyan members with us, and it is nice to have a full range of opinions on the corporate plan. I do not agree with some of Councillor McCarthy's point. I do apologise, Councillor Billsborough's points about the layout of the document. What I would say is I know that our Chief Executive has made great efforts to get people to take this document seriously and to come to workshops and to work on this document. Please, would members join in this process? It is important that this be the document of our council. Councillor Mrs. Grotte.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to say, several of us, in fact quite a number of us, did join in the workshops, did work very hard to make 1 or 2 recommendations that we thought were absolutely pivotal, did have majority decision, in fact a unanimous decision, to amend the wording on at least 2 occasions, only to find that the wording is back in again. At which point, I am sorry to say, it becomes a matter of trust. What is the point of going to workshops and having universal agreement to amend something if it finds its way back again, back into the final document?
Well, at the moment we've had a proposal and a seconder to defer, so in that case there would be no point discussing the original document now. Councillor McCarthy, did you wish to come in again?
No, yes, all I was going to say was, I hold my hand up. The Chief Exec did actually ask us all to, put our thoughts on paper. Some people did more than others. I regret having printed this off, not got back within the timescale that I intended to. So I think I am going along with the deferment, but I do think there might be a case, in order to get more member involvement, perhaps to bring the document through to the key committees, so that, where you get a guaranteed attendance rather than a workshop. I don't know whether that would be feasible.
Well, I think we'll have to discuss the way that could be achieved, but at the moment I think, and Councillor Mrs. Guttick is absolutely right. Several members took this process very seriously, put in a lot of time and effort, as indeed did the Chief Executive. I've got a proposer and a seconder to defer. I don't see any more comments to be made, so we'll take Councillor Francis's lead and put our hand. Those in favour, please show of deferring. Thank you. Nobody against, and we'll bring this back very promptly. Thank you very much.
Chairman, as the birthday boy, I would just like to say that as a token of my esteem for all my colleagues that still remain, I have bought Shah bars over from St Agnes, which I'm happy to distribute at this late hour, as a token of my esteem, but also to sort of by way of a nightcap.
Councillor McCarthy and all the other eager beavers, may I just close the meeting in the usual fashion by pointing out that we have a Part 2 report for information, item 21. We have no Part 3 reports containing exempt information, and then I should like to declare the meeting closed before we go to the chocolate bar.